are. Take a little bounce, just because it's fun. And then take a little moment, come back to center. Oh my gosh, I just realized my pants can't match my ball. That's so exciting. Okay, also probably confusing. Okay, take it side to side. A little bit of a hip lift. Keep your shoulders and your chest and your rib cage really steady. So we're getting into the obliques here. Just kind of lifting side to side, nothing big and fancy. And then we'll take a little lift forward and back with your tail. Just nice and gentle. Again, nothing too extreme. Just kind of moving your hips around here. This is an inhale and exhale. You can even push with your feet a little bit. We're just gently moving. Okay. And then come back to center and start to take a little circle with your hips. So we'll circle it all the way around one direction. Nice and smooth. Just kind of loosening up the spine. Getting the waist, the hips and the waist warmed up. Let's reverse it. All the way around. And then come back to center. So we'll start a little roll down here. So I'm going to place the ball a little lower or a little further back on the mat. So I have plenty of room that my feet can walk out. So shoulders roll back and down. Take a big deep breath in. Start to scoop your tail. And then take a little bit of walk forward. Just little bitty walks until you come down to your low back. Inhale. And then exhale, start to pull up and just walk it back up. So just a little bitty walk out. Inhale, a walk out and a little roll down. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Just little bitty ones. And then lift back up and lift all the way up, straighten out. Draw it under, start to walk out. 2, 3, 4, and then walk back. 1, 2, 3. These are a little smaller than our big walkouts to bridge. All right, so this is just a nice little small one. 1, 2, 3. You're scooping in. 4. Really finding the engagement through the lower belly space. Walk up. 2, 3, 4. Stand up nice and tall here through the spine. And draw it under. Walk 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a little pause right there. Situate your feet so they're about shoulder distance. You have a nice space here. You should be able to lift your shoulders kind of diagonal here. So you should be able to kind of let your bottom drop a little, lift your shoulders. You might feel this in your quads a little more, but we should be able to kind of lift up more upright, right, than all the way back here. Okay, we don't want to feel stuck. We should be able to lift up a little more upright. So we'll take the hands behind the head, inhale, then roll back. Exhale, start to scoop your belly and rise up. Okay, continue here. Inhale, I'm just going to shift myself a little bit so that I'm more of an angle. Okay, exhale, rise up. Inhale. So watch it here. Make sure you're not pushing now. Don't push into your feet and shift your hips back. This all stays steady. This is your foundation. Everything is steady. We're just lifting and lowering on the ball. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Curl it up. Blow out. Shoulders back, elbows back. I want you to try to hollow out every time you come up. So it doesn't matter if you look down there and you go, but my belly's still poking out. Okay? I don't care if you have subcutaneous situation here. All right? That just means, a little bit of belly fat. That's okay. But you don't worry about that. I want you to have the sensation of pulling in. So feel like you're drawing in as you lift up. So let's go 2 more. And then 1. Roll all the way back and get a nice little release. And just hang out there for a moment. Maybe rock it around. Then let's just roll back up. Come to seated. Walk back. And as you're seated, we're going to challenge our balance here. Okay, so opposite arm and leg challenging the balance. Shoulders are back. Okay, inhale. I want you to kind of pull your belly in, but then slide your hips right underneath your shoulders. Starting to float, one leg and one arm, slowly off the floor, like you were standing and you were doing a march. All right, bring it down, switching sides. And as you lift, because we're seated, hopefully that will eliminate the, sometimes the situation when you're standing is the hip tries to lift up with you. So here we really don't have much choice but to keep that hip down, right? Because we're seated. I want you to keep the belly pulled in, strong through center. Find a focal point. Maybe it's not your screen. And think about just lifting up and maybe even kind of squeezing in just a little bit with your inner thigh. Not necessarily a big movement in, but just like you were going to squeeze in slightly. So we're working towards center. Inhale, so it would be like dead bug, right? Opposite arm and leg and dead bug if we were on our back. Let's try 4. Lift tall, try not to lean back. 3, blow it out. 2, last one, and release. All right, just take a nice little twist to one side, and then a twist to the other. Keeping everything kind of nice and mobile, shake it out. All right, so now let's come on over, because we haven't worked on this in a while, okay? And maybe you haven't worked on this ever with me, but let's see. We're gonna try our balance on the ball, okay, with our shins. So this is our little, this is the, we have seal on the floor when we roll back and we clap our feet. All right, so this is what I call seal on the ball. Has nothing to do with the other seal. It just looks like a seal. All right, to me, in a circus. Seal in a circus. All right, so bring the ball all the way back. So you feel it kind of on the tops of your feet and it's hitting your shins. So it's really, really close to you. And then just start to lean forward just slightly. Lift your heels. Bend your knees. Push into the ball with your legs. Your hands are attached kind of across. And pull the belly up and in. Think of cat stretch. So lift the belly, pull up, get a little bit of rounding, gaze forward. Don't think about lifting your toes. Just let your weight start to slowly shift forward. And your toes will just naturally peel off the floor. Keep pulling your belly in and up. Think about just squeezing everything to center. Good. See if you can take a couple more breaths wherever you are, even if it means you need to reestablish. Mine got wobbly because I lost my focus. Okay. One more breath and release. Awesome. Awesome job. Even if your toes didn't leave the earth, you were brave and you were powerful to try it. Thank you. Very good. Okay. Let's take a little journey down to the mat. We're going to work a little more on the posterior chain today. Okay, so back side of your body. So let's take a little journey here. Legs on the ball, reclining all the way back. So we'll start, remember, continue to always be mindful of your back in any situation you have going on here. Right, so your feet and your calves and maybe your shins might be on the ball and your knees could be quite bent. So this would be kind of our first position here, keeping a really short stance between your feet and your hips, right? So we can keep them here, shoulders pull back, lift the hips, and then lower back down. And you may find that just because your feet are closer to you, that doesn't make it easier, right? It's just the less pressure that might land in your back. So you might like to just stay here throughout your bridge lift. Your nose is toward the sky. Your shoulders are pulled back. If you want to start to increase that lever in the distance between your legs, between your feet and your hips, taking more space to the back side of the body, go ahead and start to straighten your legs out, but never locking the knees. There's always a slight softness in the knees. Engaging the muscles around the bone. Draw your tail a little bit under, not tuck, just draw it down. I want you to really engage your glutes. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. So it's just the tendency to straighten those legs out and lock the knees, and that puts a lot of pressure in our back oftentimes. So I want you to be real careful and don't lock the legs out. So let's take 3 more with your breath. Arms might be right beside you or all the way out. You could even turn your palms up to drop those shoulder heads back and down. Okay. Inhale. Exhale. Take 1 more. Inhale. Exhale down and release for just a moment. So if you want to draw the legs in, You can take your feet, kind of wrap them to the sides here, and then just take a little bit of a rock. You want, it's just like doing a knee sway basically. So, or you could remove the ball and just do a knee sway. Okay, so come back to center. And we'll take a little pause again. All right, so walking the ball a little further away. If it was really, really close, you'll probably want to walk it a teeny bit further. If you like to take the legs longer, take it out as long as you can. Okay, so we're going to add our little hamstring curl here. Shoulders stay pulled back and down. So remember, we're engaging the whole backside of your body, not just lifting your hips. So I want you to really drop your shoulders back, scoop, like you have your little shoulder blades that are popping down like hands in a pocket, sliding down, okay, holding you from the backside. Scoop your tail, start to lift your hips, balance, and then draw the heels in and push them out. If it's a little too far away from you, drop your hips, reestablish, and then find your curl. So you might need it to be in a bit closer, and maybe the distance not so far. You're still going to get a lot of work no matter where that ball is. Okay, so inhale. I want you to kind of dig your heels into it and draw it towards you. Scoop the belly. Don't forget, you're still working deep into that pelvic belly space. Let's try 4, shoulders back. Breathe. 3, 2, 1, and then release and let it rest. Ooh, all right. So again, maybe side to side. Take a little breather there. Come back to center. Well, let's take it one more time, just in a basic bridge lift with a curl, okay? So we're gonna hold the bridge lift and curl the heels in. So we'll inhale, lift up, exhale, curl the heels in and push it out. I want you to feel like you're dragging your ball with your heels. Okay, so you're really pushing down nice and firm through your feet. Drag it in, but keep your belly pulled in, tail toward the back of your legs. Like a little reverse curl with your pelvis. Let's try 4, 3, shoulders back, chest open, 2, 1, and release. Woo, drop it down, very good. So again, you might take that little side to side, or you could even just take a basic regular knee sway if that feels better for you. And we're gonna end up rolling all the way to one side. Coming up. Let's do a little standing work. All right, so back up we go. All right, standing with a little balance. We'll take that ball in front of you. So standing on one leg, you have 2, so we're happy about that. Okay, so find gratitude in this moment while we're standing on one leg, okay? Because we'll have to do the second side. So right now, be very thankful that you have 2. All right, so shoulders are pulled back and down. I want you to square your hips. So just take one foot, step it slightly back, just a very natural kind of step back. Bending the standing leg that's in front. Look like a little short lunge, knees tracking right over your heel. Inhale, gaze forward. Start to roll the ball forward. So that back foot is still on the floor for now. Okay, roll that ball forward, pull the belly up and in. Now I want you to gaze over the ball and just start to float your back foot up and then drop it back down. So notice my standing leg is not going to be going anywhere. All I'm doing is gonna lift that back leg. So I want your heart forward. Look, you're in a nice angle. You could stay right here and you're supported. Just shift your weight a little bit further into that standing foot. Start to slowly lift your back leg. Use your glute. And then bring it back down. Okay. So inhale. Gaze is slightly forward. I want you to lift your heart a little bit. Lift the back leg. Pull your belly up and in. Toes are going to be pointing to the floor. Let's try 3 more. Your standing side. Probably on fire right about now. If yours isn't, mine is. Okay, so let's try 2. And one more. If you find the ball is wobbling a lot, you're probably putting a little too much weight into it. Okay, so it's just there to kind of challenge your balance, but also aid you in a little bit of balance. So come up and let's release. Okay, shift it, kind of shake it out, and shake it, shake it. All right, excuse me. All right, taking the ball first, find almost like a little squat. All right, so I've got a nice long angle on my back, but it's flat. And I'm gonna send the opposite leg back. Find your gratitude because now it's second side. All right, so roll your ball forward without lunging your knee forward, right? So all I'm doing is shifting forward, holding the ball. So you've got a pretty good reach first, okay? Inhale, pull belly up and in, and then start to float your back leg, heel pushing to the wall behind you, toes down. Bring it back. So if you start to find that you're really wobbling, you're using your ball for too much stability, okay? So I want you to pull up, find lightness, lift your palms like a little cup. Just a little bit of cup of your palm. Don't push down like, it's gonna look like an earthquake, right? You don't want that. As a light touch with your fingers. Bring it back down. All right, find focus here. Shift your hips so that they're nice and square. So right hip is down, Teresa. Take your leg that you're lifting and keep that hip down. Just use your glute. Use your bottom. Use your booty muscle. Lift and bring it down. All right, let's try 3 more again. Little bend in the standing knee. Inhale. Lift. Good. Toes are down. Toes are down. Like you're drawing a stripe on the wall behind you. Gaze is forward too. Lots of focus. There you go. 1. Lift. Toes down. Bring it back down. All right. Release. Come up. Shake it out again. Have a seat on your ball. All right. Little bounce. I don't know if it's because I did a lot of lower body stuff yesterday, or, which is probably part of it, or if those were just really challenging today because my booty is on fire. Okay, go around in a circle. Do it again, the other direction. Now we're working a little more on inner thighs. So this is the one that looks kind of funny, but it's very effective. So we're gonna straddle the ball, okay, like you were, I guess, riding a horse. I don't ride horses, but let's assume it would look probably something like this. Or a hippity hop, all right? Remember those? Yeah, hippity hops. Okay, so if we had a little handle here, we could hold it. All right, so now I want you to bring your feet in close, like you're hugging it with your heels. Toes are turned out, knees are turned out, all right? So you're hugging it in really close. You're balancing basically with the balls of your feet. So inhale, drive your tail slightly down, not a tuck, just a nice little lengthening there. And now let's squeeze the ball. You got taller, right? Squeeze it. And then release. Okay. So I'm not trying to stand up. I'm just really squeezing, and that's going to, because the ball is buoyant, it's going to push me up a little, all right? So inhale. And yours may not be as buoyant as mine, right? Squeeze, kind of push down and in. Squeeze, 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 so that your knees are pointing more forward now. And then release. Okay. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Remember the Thigh Master? Remember Suzanne Summers, the Thigh Master? Squeeze it. Bring it back out. All right, let's try 3 more. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Those inner thigh engagement. And then release. 2. Give it a nice little squeeze. And if you want your arms out for balance, you can do that. Bring it back down. We're going to take 1 more. You're going to hold. We're going to add a little bitty pulse. All right, here we go. Take it in, squeeze. You can hold your arms out or wherever you feel comfortable. Little bitty pulses in for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Very nice. All right, let's take that ball, and we can even shake it out here. So just let your legs swing Nice and free. Maybe just kind of like a little diagonal, front to back, side to side. You can hold your ball, or you can hang out to the sides, or you can hold a piece of furniture. I'm going to go to the other side, give my little ball for stability. All right, front to back, loosen it up. And then we're going to go side to side again. Okay, good. All right, so from here, it's like I had an idea. What was it? Oh, I remember. Okay, on the mat. Now, if you have a blanket, okay, you could take a blanket in the middle of your mat. One, this will add cushion, but two, it will add balance challenge, or a pillow, right? Something that you could put in the middle of your mat, and it might give you a little bit of lift. So if you have a yoga blanket, you might want that. If you have a throw blanket nearby, you can fold up, just kind of like this, like so. Okay, doesn't matter if it's as thick as mine. It'll give you a little bit of cushion. So if you just want more cushion, then keep it flatter. Okay. If you want a little bit of height, that will aid in the lift, okay, but also give you more range of motion, then you can take it a little higher. Now, if you want something under your head, grab that. We're going to the side. So if you have this and it's more like a lift, just a little bit higher, make sure that it's just right here on the side of your hip. It's not up here under your waist, okay? It's just right there under the side of your hip. You're going to take your ball, place it between the ankles, going to grab it here, toes are forward. I'm going to rest back down. Head is going to be rested either on the hand or on your bicep. And if this is up a little high, you'll probably want to rest your head down lower, okay? Because this right here could feel a little uncomfortable to your spine and your neck. All right, so find the space that you can get pretty set and comfortable. Go ahead and bring the ball back an inch or two, okay, so that you don't see it in your peripheral if you're gazing forward. Okay, so stack that top hip. So shift it forward a little, drop your tail a little, pull the belly in. Let's float the legs up and then lower them down. So if whatever you're on is like a little bit higher, a little thicker, and you found that hard to get up, okay, too challenging to get up, I want you to shift your weight, shift basically your fulcrum point on that blanket, okay? So inhale, so you might have to move up or down a little. You'll find the right spot. Okay, lift and lower down. So when we're lifting, we're just keeping those hips stacked, trying not to let the hips roll back. Okay, so lift up and lower down. So we're still getting inner thigh engagement here. We're also getting the outer thigh, right? So abduction and adduction at the same time. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, inhale, lift. Keeping your waist nice and long, trying not to curl it up. So it's staying steady. Let's go 4, 3, try to relax your upper body. Okay, so without the aid of your upper body getting tense. 2, good, very nice. Last 1, we're gonna hold it up there, just hold, reach out through your feet, hold it for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, I want you to give it a little bitty pulse up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh. Very good. All right, Teresa just moved her camera so that now I can see her face. All right, come back up so that I can see her grimacing while we're doing these. Yay! All right, flip it over, and I didn't even do my little breakdancing move. Okay? Probably because I'm on my blanket. We'll save that one. All right, so again, establish the space that you need to be in. Your head can be on your bicep, a pillow, or a block. Anything that makes you feel comfortable. And just making sure though, be mindful, okay, that you're not kind of, I call it the candy cane hook, that you're not doing the candy cane hook thing, that you're not coming forward with your head. Okay, so everything is in a nice straight line, okay, all the way from your head to your shoulders, your hips, down to your feet. Pull the ball back just a little bit, tends to float forward. Position your hips. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Making sure you're not rolling back. I want you to try to slightly roll your top hip forward. Exhale, lift. You might have to find adjustment. All right, find an adjustment on item you're on if you chose to be on something. Inhale. Exhale, slowly lift. You may find more range of motion even on one side versus the other. Just follow what your natural instinct is. If there's no pain involved and you're not feeling like you're going quite as high on one side, maybe try. Test yourself. See if you can get it up a little higher without rolling back. As long as you're not feeling pain or pinching. Right? Inhale. Exhale, lift. So I always like to differentiate. There's a difference between pain and discomfort. Right? Discomfort being what we feel as we're working out because we're challenging ourselves, we're challenging our muscles, we're challenging our flexibility, our strength, all of those things working together. That's just a challenge, just a little discomfort because we grow with discomfort, not with pain, right? So I don't want you to feel like you're ever feeling pain, pinching, burning, tingling. Any of those things are warning signs to us. Take 2 more. Lift it up. Take 1 more. I want you to hold it here. Can you lift it up tiny bit higher without being in a pain range? Hold it for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Adjust that top hip slightly forward. Let's pulse it up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Okay, here we go. I want you to do one more thing with me before we're completely done, okay? So if you had that lift and it was kind of up like mine, I want you to just flatten it out a little bit so that you still have something there that's under your hips, but it's not going to be so high, right? So, and if you don't have anything at all, it's okay. You could do this nothing or just with a little bit. Now, your hips are gonna go on this. You're going to be about from maybe your rib cage to the top of your thigh somewhere, depending on your torso length. Coming forward, I'm going to take the ball, take it between the legs again, between the ankles, but it's behind me now. Okay, so you're going to take that ball, squeeze it with your ankles a little bit. So your toes are pulling towards your knees. All right, so you're just flexing at the ankle, pulling your toes towards your knees. You're flexing your knees already a little bit because you've got the ball hanging onto it with your feet. Your head rests down, so make sure your head feels comfortably rested and your shoulders back away from your ears. This is where your shoulders are going to try to get involved, okay? I want you to keep them relaxed. A deep breath in. As you exhale, push your pubic bone down into the floor and then curl your heels towards your bottom. Then release. Inhale. Let's keep the shoulders relaxed. Push down through the hips and pubic bone. Curl towards your bottom. Try to keep your feet flexed, toes pulled towards your knees, heels to the sky. Curl it. You don't want that blanket too high. Okay, so inhale. So we're just trying to keep a nice level space for our hips, but maybe a little bit of cushion. Curl. Let's try a few more here. Inhale, exhale, curl. Teresa, move your blanket up so it's under your torso and your hips. And maybe flatten it out one time. So you might want to unfold it just a little. Okay, just once. Okay. There we go, curl. All right, so now you're going to continue. Inhale. Good. Exhale, curl, pause. As you're curling, push your pubic bone further into the mat and see if you can just push your feet up to the sky. Good. Bring it down and then release. So this is a lot like our hamstring curl and then our bridge lift, okay? So, or vice versa, right? So it's still like a bridge lift and a hamstring curl combined. So I want you to curl it in, relax your head, relax your shoulders. As you curl, pause, and then push down through your pubic bone, push up with your feet. Bring it back down, and then release. Inhale, curl, pause. Get that attachment through your pubic bone, through your hips, push. It's your glutes that are doing the work. Hamstrings are helping you to curl. Glutes are helping you to lift or extend. Lift, lower down. Okay, 2 more. Low back is just kind of stabilizing. Lift, lower down. There's going to be a little work happening there, but I want most of the work in your glutes. Let's go 2 more. Lift and lower down. Take 1 more and press. Lower it down and release. Good job. Set your ball off to the side somewhere. And then just take a little sway with your feet side to side. So you can take side to side both feet at the same time, or you can maybe take your knees a little wider and just drop 1 foot to center, reversing that little windshield wiper. There you go. So then we will take our journey up. So let's come up, hands to the floor, lifting up nice and slow. So take a little pause. Maybe you want to place your knees on top of that blanket. Okay, if you have it. Let's just do a little sway for the hips. Reestablishing our center here. Then we can pull the belly in. Start to add a little bit more rounding and cat stretch, opposite of what we were just doing. And take that again. Eventually, find your way back. Nice little stretch, gently working back into child's pose. Let's come up. All right, so we'll take ourselves over to one side. Let's use the ball here. Okay, so you can lift up actually. You can stay on the floor if you want, but you could also lift up. We'll just kind of do the mermaid on the ball situation, where we pull it in, both knees are down. This outside leg will probably pop up a little bit as you lean into it, but then I want you to try to get it real heavy, like you're going to try to touch the floor again with that outside knee. Okay. And just reach over, maybe hold your wrist with your opposite hand, let your head just rest on your bicep if it's available with your range of motion. Nice little twist here. Maybe just take a little bit of gentle rolling, decide how it feels best for you. If you want it to kind of roll forward a little or roll back. And then we'll come up and release. Over to the other side. So we reach over. And once you're there, just resting, try to drop that outside leg. Like actively reach down through the floor toward the knee, or from the knee to the floor. Still keeping your tail somewhat long. Just come all the way back up when you're ready. And we'll take 1 more little forward bend over your ball. Okay, so just turning, or bring the ball in front of you. I'm just turning to the side so that we can round out and find that nice release. So we did a lot of situations. We did a lot of stuff when we worked the back side of the body. So I want you to just kind of let everything relax. Hug your ball. Hug. Tell your ball how much you love it. How grateful you are that your ball was there to support you today. And go ahead and release. Come back. Let's just take a big sweep up together. And bring the hands down. Take a moment, bowing. Honor your own inner guide, your own voice. The voice that got you here on your mat today. And I appreciate you being here. Thanks so much, and be a rock star.